points pero bumaba ang kanyang average. Iran 4.7 rebounds, only 2 out of 10 in that game. So he's still aggressive on the offensive end, hindi lang pumapasok ang mga tira. Kagiwa misses the floater. Ball, however, will stay with the Nationals. So Pilipinas, Miguel Bir begins the second period. Down by 10 points. They have Willie Miller and Mark along with Don Peros. And Don called for taking steps. Call, but two referees have been calling it consistently ever since the start of the tournament. Talaga, amigo, hindi pwede yung kagaya sa professional basketball that they give a half step before you dribble, but this one you really have to put the ball down before you leave your feet. In other words, parang bawal yung puelo. Bawal talaga ang puelo. Eh, kung baka sa ibang liga nga, hindi, si Jordan nakakadala sa hakbang bago ng traveling. The crowd trying to ask for a warding off. Foul against Lebanon. Here's Satterfield. Oh, from long range. Knocked it home. What a first half for Kenny Satterfield, leading all scorers with 12 points. 12 points inside and outside. Delikado tayo kay Satterfield. 13-point lead for Lebanon, biggest lead of the game, and Willie Miller scores down low. Nevertheless, it is a second team country and Philippines slicing 34. Alam mo, amigo, maganda dito para sa atin. They don't know what the strengths of our players are. They don't know that Willie Miller can hit that outside shot. They don't know that Yancy El-Khatib shoots from the outside. But the problem is, we don't know who's good on the other team, as Shibani will hit his first three-pointer of the ballgame. You know, we left Shibani open all day to shoot that three-pointer, and we paid for it. So the lead is, Lebanon lead is back to 12, 37-25. Meanwhile, it's the second personal foul on Satterfield. And concerned look on Nenad Kurtic, head coach of Lebanon. Here's Kagiwa inside. No! Offensive rebound finally scores the Philippines. Another offensive rebound coming from close. He was blocked from behind. You like the fact that you're beginning to see second chance opportunities for Pilipinas and doing it in the land of the giants with a giant right in the middle smack of things, number 15. She called Joseph Curry. And this will be an easy two. George Salim Shibani. So it's back to a 14-point lead for Lebanon, and let's find out how our team captain is doing, Don Tiveros. Richard?
Well, yes, in that play, nangyari, nagkabanggaan raw sila ng tuhod yung Lebanese defender, pero they're icing his knee right now, and in a few minutes he'll be ready back for action.
So that's certainly great news for Team Pilipinas. On Tiveros looks like he will be okay. We'll swing back to action in just a while. And one-hander by El-Khatib won't work, as Willie Miller gets the basketball for Team Pilipinas down by 12. Dangerous pass, and it's going to stay with the Nationals. Ill-advised pass right there. Willie Miller, who had lots of white shirts from Lebanon lurking and watching for the pass. Three-point specialist Ritualo, sporting jersey number 8. Checks in the game for the very first time, joining Yancy De Ocampo, Jimmy Alapag, Enrico Villanueva, and Willie Miller. Lebanon up 39-27, 4:25 to go in the first half. Miller, quickly to Alapag, open three, no. Villanueva trying to keep that ball alive. Here's Shibani. Shibani will wait for teammates now. Lebanon up by 12 points, 39-27. Both teams jockeying for prime position going into the quarterfinal round. Here's Satterfield, going under the bridge. Satterfield continuing his brilliant first half play with 14 points. That's the breakdown on the defense on the the baseline defense of the blue shirts of the RP national squad, 3 players not being able to stop Satterfield in that last play.
Villanueva, outside, Alapag. Moves out from the corner. And now over to the left corner. Ritualo. Yes, sir, from Rainbow Country.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Ritualo. First 3-pointer. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Renren. You know, the first game, Miko against Inya, he was 0 for 12. Pero okay lang, ano, at least nakabawi na siya on the previous games. Like, hoping tayo tonight na gumanda na naman ang laro ni Renren.
Yancy Ocampo called for that foul. Only the first team foul against the Nationals. This will send El-Khatib to the 15-foot line. Oh, check that. No, it's just a baseline inbound here for Lebanon. Satterfield from the corner. Khatib inside of Howard, outside Satterfield. He goes left, he goes to Howard, and Yancy Ocampo had no other recourse but to foul Howard and prevent him from scoring 2 points.
But is that going to be a good foul? Since that is the 3rd personal foul of Yancy Ocampo, who will have to sit down in the place of Rafi Rivas.
And bear in mind that Rafi Rivas checked in the game for the foul beleaguered Yancy Ocampo. We have 2 big men in foul trouble, essentially. Romel Adugol had to leave the game early on account of 2 fouls called in the first quarter. And now Yancy Ocampo now nursing 3 personal fouls, having to sit on the bench.
Meanwhile, Stephen Howard with 6 points, 7 points, and 2 rebounds in the ballgame. Stephen Howard, pumutok din to nung kalaban ng Kazakhstan. He had 22 in that ballgame, and we can see that, you know, the specialty of Lebanon is pounding the ball inside to this guy, Stephen Howard. At least one of his specialties.
Makibabad na with Parroque and Edgar. River Maya sandwich to Don and more. As Ritualo knocks it home. Yes, sir! From Rainbow Country. Pwede ka manalo up to 1 million worth of cash prizes. Sarap magbabad. It happened on June 3, Mega Mall parking lot ni Humana with San Miguel Beer, ang beer na walang katulad. Parang summer boy, talagang walang katulad. Remember, drink moderately. A steal by Rivas, but he issues a bad pass. A turnover against the Philippines. Here's Satterfield. Oh! Seeing an open lane and going all the way. He has 16 scintillating points. Back to an 11-point lead for Lebanon. Here's Ritualo once again. Not that time. Oh, a recovery by Tony De La Cruz. That was a lucky break for Team Pilipinas. They actually could not get the offensive rebound, but the hustle of Tony De La Cruz paying off.
Oh, you're just lounging around, getting the offensive rebound. It's actually a loose ball na. Hindi ko nangyari yun, ano? At pababa na yung mga players ng Lebanon for a fast-breaking play when the ball bounced into this guy, Tony De La Cruz. As we see again, Renren Ritualo, who made a record earlier in the conference, a 3-point shot. With another 3-point shot for himself tonight.
Renren with 2 triples here in the second quarter. 10-point lead for Lebanon as we near the last 2 minutes of the first half. Second half was quiet here in the first half. We were expecting a lot from the Merchant half, especially with the statistics that he had last night.
Oh, pero hindi pa talaga nangangailangan ito si Merchant to score. He hasn't been really that aggressive, but now he's on the line. And you know, sooner or later, this guy, Merchant for Lebanon, will be joining in the scoring column together with Howard and Satterfield, who's having a terrific night tonight.
2 for 2 for Eli Rafi Mechantab, who had 13 points yesterday in their victory over Kazakhstan. 12-point lead for Lebanon. Minute and 55 to go in the second period. Ritualo trying to go for 3-pointer number 3. And Howard's outlet pass intercepted by Team Pilipinas. Here's Alapag. Nationals down by 12. Alapag goes inside. Outside he goes to Nick Velasco. It bounces out. And the Nationals having trouble getting second chance opportunities on the offensive end.
nangyayari dahil nakasona na itong Lebanon team. So it's really harder to get offensive rebounds. As we see all alone, number 8, El-Khatib. With another 2 points.
Defensive miscommunication there, clearly for the national team. And now we see Lebanon on top by 14 points, 48-34. What happened here?
Right there, that's a breakdown on the defense. As Khatib will score again. 10 points in the ballgame for that guy, Khatib. Alam mo, nangyayari sa atin, Miko, we're not getting any second chance opportunities. Earlier you saw ito si Jimmy Alapag trying very hard to create for his teammates. Naka-create naman siya pero hindi naman pumapasok ang ating outside shooting.
The man on your screens wearing jersey number 8 for Lebanon, that is El-Khatib.
Hindi po si Dominic Uy yun, ha? Ito si El-Khatib with his statistics versus Kazakhstan in his last game. 30 points, 4 rebounds, 11 out of 21. So he's loving the outside shot. Mikot 21 tira from 3-point range ang binato nito si El-Khatib.
Lebanon still dictating the tempo here, up 48-34 with a minute and 9 to go in the first half. Alapag trying to go to Villanueva, could not handle the pass. Here's El-Khatib on the run all alone for 2, and he has 12 markers here in the first half.
Medyo lumalaki na yung lamang ng Team Lebanon versus Team Philippines. All we can do right now is try to get it under 10 points, or at least a double-digit, less than a double-digit advantage.
That's going to be a foul on El-Khatib. Only the first personal foul against the Lebanese scorer. And Lebanon now in a penalty, which will send Ritualo to the line.
But it's actually a 16-point lead na pala, Miko, yung lamang nitong Lebanon. So we can hope only to put it down to at least a dozen at the half and maybe regroup during halftime, as we see, of course, Ritualo sinking his first free throw. Very important right now is that we get it down before the half.
Ritualo had 3 points yesterday in that loss to Iran. And impact points coming from Ritualo here in the second quarter. Although it's a 14-point deficit being faced by the national team. Khatib trying to go against De La Cruz. Oh, power move inside. His attempt goes in and out. He will have 2 free throws.
Kanina, napapakita pa lang natin yung stat niya. He took 21 3-point field goals in the last game wherein he scored 30 points. Pero right now, you can see his strength. Kanina nakakita tayo ng fast break galing sa kanya. Ngayon yung inside operation galing kay Khatib. So he's a complete player, not only coming from the outside, pero galing din sa loob. Meron to si Khatib. As we see, of course, may problema ang ating coaching staff sa Pilipinas.
Velasco coloring the rebound. 28 seconds to go before the end of the second quarter. Jimmy Alapag, mighty foul, going all the way. However, Lebanon still up by 13 points. And Satterfield hits the deck. He is picked up by Nick Velasco. Tony De La Cruz is called for a foul, his first personal.
So that's going to be 2 free throws. Because we are also in the penalty.
On the line is Kenneth Satterfield, leading all scorers with 16 big points. Make that 17.
Breakout game niya yung game versus Kazakhstan last night where he scored 19 points. You know, versus Iran, naka 10 points lang ito si Satterfield.
Another rebound for Velasco. Only 13 seconds to go before the end of the second quarter. Bala trying to go for a steal. Velasco high off the glass, too high. Here's Ritualo for 3. Yes, sir! And that will mark the end of the first half. Ritualo coming off the bench, banging in 3 3-pointers to keep the Philippines within striking distance as Lebanon holds on to the lead 52-41 at the end of the first half.
This timeout is brought to you by More.
Lebanon actually led by as many as 16 points.
Oo nga, Satterfield has been hot for the Lebanese team, and also, of course, yung inside-outside operations nila. Khatib also has been scoring from the outside. Pero sa atin naman, para sa Pilipinas, a couple of things are lacking, Yung unang-una, yung defensive rebounding, as we see here, of course, our halftime summary. We cannot make stops. 58% for the Lebanese team is just too much. Hindi tayo mananalo kung 41% lang ang nilalaro natin. What we're playing with 41% field goals. Eto, Miko, isa pang problema. We really do not know how to defend without fouling. That's why we put the Lebanese team again 18 times for 18 free throws versus only 10 for the Philippines. Rebounding, of course, kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan, so many offensive rebounds for the Lebanese team. Doon tayo tinatalo ngayon, 24 versus 16, as you see some highlights.
Kenny Satterfield actually set the tone for Lebanon, orchestrating and also scoring. There's Khatib. That's Fadi Khatib scoring big baskets inside using his big body. And here he goes once again with a difficult reverse. He was sandwiched by the national defense, but he scores nonetheless. Mark Agiwa did his best to keep the Nationals within striking distance with Satterfield. Was simply sensational in the first 2 quarters.
Well, napakadami nang nagawa nito si Satterfield in the ballgame. 17 points already, as you see him operating from the outside as well as from the inside. And he's been unstoppable here in the first half.
Here's Kagiwa. For the first pair of baskets for the Nationals in this game. But Ritualo was the story of the second quarter, keeping the Philippines within striking distance with 11 points and 3 three-pointers coming off the Pilipinas bench.
Well, it's crucial for our team right now, who is only down by 11. Makikita natin Ritualo, who played sparingly, partner, in this ball game. 11 points na kagad siya. Talagang instant offense. Miller and Kagiwa, 7 and 6. Satterfield, who has been hot from inside and from out, scoring layups with 17. Khatib, pareha rin, ang ganda rin nilalaro itong dalawang player na to.
Some other notes for the Nationals. Romel Adukol picked up 2 early fouls in the opening quarter. Yancy De Ocampo saddled with 3 personal fouls. And Dondon Ontiveros slightly injured back in the first half, but we expect him to swing back into action here in the second half. We'll bring you the third quarter between Lebanon and Pilipinas San Miguel Beer in just a while, only here on ABC.
Oh, nice. Ito, mukhang target shooting ito. Nice. Fiba after 2016, Fiba Asia Championship 2005.
Back inside the Inares Center. We're so glad you could join us on this special coverage of the FedEx FIBA Asia Champions Cup, the 16th edition. We are on the last day of the elimination round. This is actually the last game of the elimination round. And so far, Lebanon controlling action here in Antipolo. And Joaquim Panitos in the game for the first time, because our other big men are in foul trouble. He is joined by Dondon Ontiveros. We're so happy the team captain is back, along with Willie Miller, Nick Velasco, and Romel Adukol, who is nursing 2 personal fouls. Here's Satterfield, who had the hottest pair of hands in the first half, and he is picking up from where he left off, going into a triple team.
And that's one of the problems of the Philippines, regardless of them really asking that. Nasabi nila Romel, wala daw talagang foul. But one thing we have to do is to defend without fouling these players from Lebanon. Dahil napaka-deadly nito from the stripe. And earlier we gave up 18 free throws. If we double that, that's 36 free throws. Hindi tayo mananalo pag nagbigay tayo, Miko, ng 36 free throws in a ball game.
There is a Lebanese contingent present here in Antipolo. And they like what they see on the scoreboard. Lebanon on top, 54-41. Willie Miller inside. A sorry miss for Miller. And a big howl coming from the Team Pilipinas bench as the ball goes to Lebanon. Lebanon on top by 13 in the early goings of the second half. Mechentown. And that's going to be a foul on Ontiveros.
So maaga na naman tayo, Miko, dito. 1 minute only into the third quarter. We have 2 personal fouls. Mag-iiba kasi, you know what? I don't know if what the coaching staff of the Philippines, kung mag-iiba yan, kung talagang nasa penalty na tayo, we might have to revert to the zone defense na much less physical yung contact niya.
A miss coming from Basem Omar Bala. Here's Mechentown. Eli Rafi Mechentown over to Kenneth Satterfield, and he loses the ball. And so the Nationals try to score their first field goal of the second half. Down by 13 points, 54-41. Adukul. Against Khatib, trying to drop that pass to Ontiveros. Ball batted out. Last touch on Lebanon.
One of the other things we miss right now is the inside scoring. Of course, Rommel was saddled with lots of fouls.
And a steal is completed by Khatib. Buddy Khatib against Adukul, and the basket is good. And that's going to be number 3 on Romel Adukul.
Partner, kanina pa itong si Khatib. Earlier, we saw Don Ontiveros hit him and he still completed the shot. With the foul, ito na naman, a bigger person in Romel Adukul trying to stop Khatib. Doesn't really matter.
You know, Khatib possesses that incredible upper body strength, allowing him to bang bodies but still maintain that shooting form.
Oh, at saka yung balance ng katawan niya, kahit tamaan siya kung saan man, he still has that balance to shoot that ball.
And he shoots the bonus free throw. He has 16 points. And that is also the lead for Lebanon, 16, 57-41. Willie Miller back in the game. Miller pulls up. And looks like he will be awarded 3 free throws here.
Lucky break for the Philippines to stop the clock. Down by 16, and you put Willie Miller on the line for 3 free throws. So that's a good break.
Well, Willie Miller not only got 3 free throws off that foul, he also got the 3rd personal foul of Kenneth Satterfield, who has wrought havoc on the Nationals defense all throughout the game. And finally, Team Pilipinas scores a point here in the third quarter. Miller getting only 1 free throw on that trip to the line. And Sonny Post called for an offensive foul.
Sayang, sayang na sayang talaga yung mga opportunity natin na ganyan.
And an over and back violation called against Eli Rafi Mechentown. He was hounded by Mark Kagiwa. Forced to turn the ball over.
And so the defense of Mark Kagiwa, in-your-face defense against Mechentown, pays off.
So on the court right now for Pilipinas, San Miguel Beer. Sonny Post, Willie Miller, Nick Velasco, Romel Adukul, and Mark Kagiwa. As the ball goes back to Lebanon with 8 minutes to go in the third period. Sonny Post with a tough task of shadowing Stephen Howard on the defensive end. Here's Howard, high post. Howard makes his move outside. That was intended for Georges Salim Shibani. And it's a turnover against Lebanon.
It's not the specialty of Howard, who usually gets the ball in the low block. This time he's trying to create for his teammates. Created an error for Lebanon.
Nationals down by 15 points. Here's Kagiwa. Nowhere to go, and the ball hit Kagiwa on the nape. And thus it will be last touch on the Philippines. National coaching staff asking for a foul on that play as Kagiwa was surrounded by 3 Lebanese defenders. Score is 57-42. Still a 15-point advantage for Lebanon. Paddy Khatib from the left flank up against Velasco. And out of Satterfield up against Miller. 8 to shoot for Lebanon. There's a tap by Adukul. Miller is on the move. He steps on the gas. And he turns and he almost scores. He will go to the line.
frustration in the face of Willie Miller. Had the perfect opportunity to score, pero hindi pa rin. Earlier, he missed 2 free throws from the line, so it might be a good idea if you're Lebanon to foul this guy who struggled from foul throw. Ito na naman na makikita natin. Perfect opportunity for an end-one situation. Bounces out. And again, Miller struggling. Misses the first of 2 free throws. 1 out of 4 tonight.
A split on the line for Willie Thriller Miller. And he makes it a 14-point game, 57-43 in favor of Lebanon as we near the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Howard against Adugul. And with those 3 personal fouls, Adugul having to watch Howard pass by.
You know, that's just too easy. That's just too easy for Howard to score in that opportunity.
And Howard grabbing that ball away from Adugul. Lebanon up by 16 points. 6:33 to go in the third period. El-Khatib against Velasco. Howard against Adugul. Howard scored earlier against Rommel. Now he goes to Shibani. He misses the 3-pointer and Adugul grabs the rebound. Quickly they go to Kagiwa. Kagiwa against Shibani. Kagiwa now scans the court. Here's De La Cruz. Top of the key. Now goes inside. Outside to Kagiwa with 10 to shoot. Oh, there's a swipe by shortest Salim Shibani. And Shibani will go all the way.
Biggest lead of the ball game. 18 big points.
The Nationals facing a debacle now with 5:59 to go in the third quarter. There's a swipe by Shibani, just sticking out that right hand, and he goes all the way uncontested for 2 as Lebanon builds its biggest lead of the game, 61-43, with under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Babalik po tayo sa loob ng Inares Center dito po sa Antipolo at tagahabol po ang Team Pilipinas San Miguel Beer na pinangunguna ni Coach Vincent Chot Reyes. He has built a team composed of the stars of the PBA, trying to mold them into a running and passing team. But right now, they're embattled. Near the halfway mark of the third quarter, Nick Velasco misses the hook. And Lebanon threatening to build a 20-point lead here in the third period.
Look at just the way the Lebanese team will gang up on you when you have an inside opportunity.
De La Cruz gets the rebound for Team Pilipinas San Miguel Beer. 5:25 to go in the third quarter. Willie Miller. As someone crashes onto there, that's Stephen Howard.
Lots of physical contact with the referee not calling anything.
And we heard a loud thud when Stephen Howard hit the court, the Inares Center court. He was even stepped on by a couple of other players. No call coming from the officials.
But incidentally, there was a call on number 4, Chivani. Akala ko, Miko, it was going to be called on Stephen Howard. So, may dinaapakan na siya panatawagan sana ng foul.
Here's Adugul. Banging into Howard.
Hot under the collar, Romel Adugul. Very close to getting a technical call. Technical foul. So a couple of non-calls, Miko. Here we see again the cross pass towards Romel Adugul. No contact, no call there. Lots of contact in that one. And the foul was called on Romel Adugul.
That was a very physical possession for both squads. And Adugul getting the raw end of the deal as he has to sit down as Villanueva checks in. Number 4 against Romel Adugul, who has struggled with foul trouble throughout this game. And the first free throw is no good for Stephen Howard. Let's go to Richard Del Rosario.
Yes, in that last time out, si Coach Chot Reyes was very emphatic in his instructions. Sabi niya, I don't care if we lose this game, but let's lose this game as a team. Sabi niya, wala nang one-on-one. Let's play together. Sabi niya, let's stick to the system. Sabi niya, and if we lose this game because of the system, then it's my fault, it's my bad. But let's play together and pass the ball. Back to you guys.
Napakaganda talaga ng Slavi. You know, the problem is you have a bunch of superstars from different PBA teams and put them in together, you will have problems like that.
Miller was blocked by Shibani. Howard leading the break. Howard over to Satterfield. Satterfield hammered by Kagiwa.
Acting ball number 7, Mark Kagiwa. Giving the ball on Willie Miller.
First personal foul against Kagiwa, and action certainly has turned physical here in the third quarter. As Miller sits down and Jimmy Alapag is sent back in the game, so goes for Yancy De Ocampo, who will replace Nick Velasco.
You know, the guns who we were expecting to explode tonight, Romel Adukul and of course Don Ontiveros, have only 2 points combined compared to their last outing. Rommel and Don had 41 points. Ngayon, 2 points pa lang yung combination nila.
Satterfield now with 21 markers to pace Lebanon, now up by 20 big points. With under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Alapag against Shibani. Alapag, drop pass for De La Cruz. He gets fouled going up. He will take 2.
So that's the good thing about Jimmy Alapag. He always creates for his teammates, especially kung hindi talaga siya nakakashoot sa labas. And this time he created for Tony De La Cruz, who was fouled going up.
Tony De La Cruz with 3 points tonight. We've also been hampered by our free throw shooting here in the third quarter. 4 points, 8 rebounds tonight for Anthony Tony De La Cruz of the Shell Turbo Chargers. But the Nationals still facing this uphill climb. 4:20 to go in the third period. Howard. Oh, he is being hammered there. And Yancy, Rico Villanueva and Stephen Howard going at it. Villanueva is pulling Howard's leg. Villanueva pulls Howard's leg.
Oh my goodness. The last thing you want to see is a fight between these two teams.
You know, Stephen Howard was fouled hard on that play.
He was really fouled hard by Yancy De Ocampo.
He was hammered by Yancy De Ocampo. Howard hit the deck, stood up, and didn't like it.
And he really, you know, the reaction of Howard was also there, but Villanueva.
You know, I always say that Enrico Villanueva plays with a special kind of fury, but the Raging Bull really lost his cool that time and dragged Stephen Howard all the way to Marikina. My goodness.
You know, we have to remember sometimes, Nico, that we're playing host to all these 10 teams, to all the 9 other teams here in the Fiba. So, medyo dapat may konti tayong pasensya pagdating sa mga ganyan. Stephen Howard got the raw end of the deal. He got really hit hard, so it was normal for him to react in a manner that way.
And now everyone here at the United Center on their feet in this very anxious stage of the third quarter.
And here we see again, replay.
Even Kagiwa getting into the action there, and Howard trying to body bump De Ocampo, and Villanueva pushes Howard on the court and holds on to his left leg and drags him from Antipolo all the way to Marikina. Pulling with him the entire Lebanon bench, who as expected was giving him dagger looks. Look at Villanueva, the Raging Bull, hauling Stephen Howard all the way to Katipunan. Unbelievable. And now the officials are sorting everything out here at the 4:15 mark of the third quarter, with Lebanon on top by 19 points.
As you see again, Stephen Howard, a lighter moment right now. He's smiling it off. That's a good sign. He's up and about, he's not hurt. We didn't see, Nico, we did not see any punches thrown in that sequence, so that's a little bit of good news.
No punches were thrown.
Oh.
But the court right now is very clean. Dahil ginawang basahan ni Villanueva itong si Stephen Howard. Mistulang mapman si Enrico Villanueva, who really lost his cool. Unfortunately, cooler heads prevailing here because this could have been an all-out brawl.
All-out brawl. With, you know, the last thing you want to see is even the fans, the Filipinos getting into it. At buti naman, maganda naman yung reception, I mean, yung mga tao dito sa Inares.
So what is the call here?
And now we can hear, of course, Rico Villanueva trying to explain the reason behind him pulling.
You know, Chotre is saying that Stephen Howard actually kicked Enrico Villanueva. That's why Villanueva pushed Howard to the court.
Pushed and then pulled.
Pushed and then pulled.
And here again, we see the replay. That's a hard foul. And the reaction. May konting reaction into
We're not
Howard.
going to see it. There. Well, we did not see. I think there's a kick. There's that kick that the Nationals saw.
Oh my goodness. There's so nothing.
We're still trying to sort things out here.
Foul on number 7, Dondon, number 6, Dondon Ontiveros.
And they've called the foul on Mr. Donaldo Ontiveros.
And then the foul on number 7, Mark Aguila.
It was supposed to be on Mark Kagiwa.
And sportsmanlike foul on number 11, Stephen Howard.
And so as we sort things out right now,
Foul on number 11, Rico Villanueva. Rico Villanueva out of the playing court.
and finally, Rico Villanueva has been tossed for tonight's ball game.
Okay, so here's what happened. Another look. Howard will attack inside. He will be hammered by Kagiwa.
There was an elbow by Yancy de Ocampo. That's what upset him, actually, Miko. It was not the foul of Kagiwa. It was the elbow of Yancy de Ocampo.
And then Villanueva pushes Howard on the floor. Howard will kick Enrico. Howard thus will be called for an unsportsmanlike foul. Villanueva, because he dragged Howard from Inares all the way to Katipunan Avenue, will be ejected from the game. And national team head coach Chotre is still seeking a clarification from the tournament organizers here. Howard is on the line because of a personal foul on Mark Kagiwa, number 2 against Kagiwa.
Apparently, Miko, what the coaching staff of the Philippines is saying is that there was a bench clearing on the part of Lebanon, wherein if you step into the court, you're supposed to get some fine. That's supposed to be a violation on the Lebanese team.
Because we really thought it was going to turn into an ugly brawl.
Oh, it almost turned into an ugly brawl.
Fortunately, cooler and smarter heads prevailing here in the third quarter as action continues, with Lebanon up by 20 points. Here's swipe there by Lebanon. Here's Alapag. Alapag goes inside. Alapag bangs into Howard. Here's De La Cruz. Inside to Alapag in no man's land. Alapag, what is he going to do? He goes to Kagiwa from the right side. First three.
That might just be the spark the Philippine team needed, but it's a long way from there. 17-point lead after the 3-point shot by Mark Kagiwa.
Howard. Outside, El-Khatib. No. And who gets the ball? It goes to Alapag. Nationals trying to bounce back in this game. De Ocampo still in the backcourt. Oh, forward pass will be stolen by Lebanon. Satterfield. Handoff for Khatib. Khatib. No, and Kagiwa gets the rebound. Nationals on the run. Team Pilipinas on the attack. Kagiwa on the move. Kagiwa all the way. No serve.
Still nothing of the fast-breaking plays of the Philippines.
And here's a lob pass for Khatib. Furious action here in the third quarter. Here's Alapag. Alapag. Foul and a basket is good.
ang gulong bigla, Miko, dito sa United Center.
I tell you, talagang nagkakagulo na rito sa third quarter. We've seen everything. Here's the Mighty Mouse. He will be hammered by George Salim Shibani. And a basket is good for Alapag. And right now, Team Pilipinas, San Miguel Beer, mounting a furious rally here in the third chapter.
And that's a hard foul on Jimmy Alapag, who's all business tonight. Hindi man tumingin, Miko. Nagpause sa kanya. He just wants the Philippine team to get back into the groove of things. We've been in a scoring funk for the longest time, but now we're just down by 14.
We were down by as many as 20, and now the Nationals trimming the deficit down to 14 points. Another 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And this compact crowd inside the United Center now getting into the action. 6 to shoot for Lebanon. Here's Satterfield from the right side. It goes! What a big basket for Lebanon. Trying to quell this RP team tempest.
What a rally douser by Satterfield, who's got 24 big markers to lead all scorers tonight.
Lebanon up by 17. Alapag to Kagiwa. Kagiwa on the move. Over to Yancey for 3. Short. Had a good line though as El-Khatib clears the rebound for Lebanon. We are nearing the last 2 minutes of a furious, of a physical, of a scintillating third quarter here in Antipolo. Lebanon up by 17 points, 6 to shoot. Here's Bala, inside. No, sir. And who gets the ball? It ends up with El-Khatib. Satterfield, another big bomb coming from Kenneth Satterfield. And he has had the hottest pair of hands here in Inares with 27 points.
He's just shooting it from everywhere, Miko.
Kagiwa trying to answer back. Kagiwa gets the loose ball. He still has the leather. Over to De La Cruz. Over Khatib. Overshoots. And a rebound by Paul Joseph Curry. Lebanon up by 20. Satterfield has been the biggest thorn on the side of the Philippines. And he loses the ball along the baseline. Thanks to the hounding defense of Mark Kagiwa.
You know, Kenneth Satterfield, he's on your screens right now, as Mark Kagiwa will sit down. Nick Velasco will be coming into the ball game. I was talking about Edwin Satterfield, his biggest point production of the entire tournament with 27 points.
Ritualo, who's shown back in the second quarter, misses the three-pointer, and a putback is good for Tony De La Cruz, a rare second chance opportunity for Team Pilipinas.
Exactly, they come few and far between yung mga second chance points niya na bumagsak na lang sa kamay ni Tony De La Cruz on that occasion.
Philippines down by 18. 38 seconds to go before the end of the third quarter.
So it's another foul by Team Philippines.
Second personal against Tony De La Cruz. Both teams are in the penalties with only 34 ticks remaining in the third period.
That was a wild, this is a wild third quarter, Nico.
Ang masakit kasi niyan it was very physical, both ends. We saw everything, even a furious rally by the Nationals. Kaya lang itong si Kenneth Satterfield ng Lebanon, keeping Team Pilipinas San Miguel Beer at bay with timely hits here in the third quarter. Here's Alapag, and he gets hammered inside. And both teams are in the penalty here.
You know, Satterfield we've been talking about, he's got 27 points, 10 of them coming in this third quarter, wherein the Philippines we were already trying to come back.
We were gaining momentum.
Ang ganda na ng momentum.
Even the crowd here at the United Center getting into the action with timely hits from Mark Kagiwa and Jimmy Alapag. And here comes Kenneth Satterfield casually knocking down back-to-back three-pointers.
Napakasakit talaga dun para sa Team Pilipinas itong ginawa ni Satterfield. But it's not yet over, Miko. We're still down by a large margin. But this is international rules. This is Fiba rules to mas madaling makahabol actually pag sa mga malalaking margins if you're playing international rules.
An over and back violation there by Shibani. So good break here for Team Pilipinas. Try to chip into this deficit as you look at head coach Nenad Kurcic of Lebanon. Here's Rivas. Nationals can go for the last basket of a wild and woolly and furious and physical third quarter. 9 seconds to go in the third. Alapag has the leather up against Shibani. Alapag on the move. Alapag trying to go all the way. He falls and he will take two.
You know, Alapag has only 6 points in the ball game, but every time he has had the ball, he gets the ball, he creates. This time, creating a shot for himself, not being able to get the 2 points, but getting to the line. Last game, Miko, he got 8 assists with only 1 point versus the team versus Iran. It just shows how important this guy is, even if he does not score. Basta't maibigay sa mga teammates yung bola in their spots, in their territories where they can make the shot.
72-55, Lebanon on top. 2 seconds to go in the third. Satterfield twirls, he fires, and he misses the mark. So this physical, furious third quarter comes to a close. We saw bodies hitting the deck. We saw the Raging Bull pulling Stephen Howard from the Inares Center all the way to Balara. and we saw Kenneth Satterfield wax hot for Lebanon, dousing ice water on a furious comeback bid by Team Pilipinas. That's the score at the end of the third quarter, 72-55 in favor of Lebanon. We'll be back with the final period in just a while. 8 points to Lebanon. We're so glad you could join us on this special coverage. This is the FedEx 16th Fiba Asian Champions Cup in cooperation with San Miguel Beer. Speaking of San Miguel Beer, makibabad na with Parokya ni Edgar, River Maya, Sandwich, The Dawn, and more. Pwede ka pang manalo up to 1 million worth of cash prizes. Sarap magbabad. That's happening tomorrow at Mega Mall Parking Lot C. Inuman na with San Miguel Beer. Beer na walang katulad. Summer boy talagang walang katulad. Remember, Tita Martin, drink moderately. Here's Ritualo in and out as action unfolds here in the final quarter. Ritualo once again. Yes, sir! He hits the bounce. And that's the fourth three-pointer for Ritualo in the game. 14 points. That's what separates Lebanon from the national team. 72-58 in favor of Lebanon. Joseph Paul Curry inside, and it's an offensive foul against Lebanon.
And here we go again. This time we have to mark this guy, Satterfield. Ito na naman tayo, Miko. Ito na naman yung ratsyada ng Pilipinas. Mamaya ay baka makatira na naman. As we see again, 20 points for Lebanon in the third, only 14 for the Philippines.
De La Cruz over Satterfield. Velasco and Shibani gets the ball, an interception. Forward pass to Satterfield, who misses the layup, but he was fouled by Rafi Rivas.
Pushing foul underneath by Rafi Rivas on the streaking Satterfield. So we really did not have a good third quarter. We only had a 22% field goal split versus Lebanon's 36%. So talagang we struggled mightily pagdating sa opensa sa third quarter.
Kenneth Satterfield has been the man of the moment for Lebanon. And has been a nightmare for Team Pilipinas, really. 28 points as he missed that second free throw. 73-58. 15-point ball game in favor of Lebanon. Team Philippines trying to bounce back here in the final quarter. Alapag, ball fake, finally gives it to De La Cruz, a low bounce pass. Here's Shibani on the move, Shibani against Ritualo. Shibani twirls, and there's going to be an interception for Team Pilipinas. Nationals on the attack. Ritualo to De La Cruz. De La Cruz outside to Rivas. Rivas won't fire. He goes to De La Cruz. De La Cruz now fires. It's no good. De La Cruz suffering from a sour shooting night here in Inares.
Kanina hinahanap ko si Remden Ritualo in that last offensive play, but apparently the Lebanese team, they know already who to guard. Remden Ritualo was not free on that last offensive play.
Once again, Kenneth Satterfield shoots over Alapag, and that's going to be his 31st point. And The Lebanese lead is back to 18, 76-58. With under 8 minutes to go in the game, here's Ritualo, and he has scored. Yes, sir. Ritualo with 17 points off the bench.
This is becoming his breakout game for Team Pilipinas. His stint in Team Pilipinas, the highest production from Rendon Ritualo is tonight.
5 3-pointers tonight for Rendon Ritualo. Here's El-Khatib against Velasco. 6 to shoot for Lebanon. Balaa, his pass to Curry. And it's a turnover. There's Alapag on the move. Alapag. Bounce pass De La Cruz. De La Cruz. That's a count. Yes, that's a count. So lots of time for Team Pilipinas San Miguel Beer to battle back in this game. 7:19 to go in the payoff period, and it's just a 13-point deficit. Rafa Rivas sits down. And Joe Henry Catas checks in the game. You're looking at Minky Favis alongside Chot Reyes. There's Joe Henry Catas checking back in. Head coach Nenad Turcic of Lebanon looks on. His team up by 13 precarious points. That's a turnover. That is a turnover against El-Khatib. Hounded no end by Nick Velasco.
Oh, maganda na yung tao-tao natin. They're being pressured to make those mistakes.
Velasco for 3. And De La Cruz gets the ball. Here's Willie Miller down low. Miller being hounded by Satterfield. That's going to be number 4 on Kenneth Satterfield.
That's going to be a big blow for the team of Lebanon.
And a big break for Team Pilipinas. So now Satterfield on the verge of fouling out. Certainly the person Team Pilipinas wants to see foul out of this game, and Ritualo having trouble with the leather is called for taking steps. 6:48 to go in the payoff period, and that's going to be a foul against Willie Miller.
Only the second team foul of Pilipinas San Miguel Beer. And at least they're in a situation where they can still persistently play pressing defense kasi wala pa tayo sa penalty.
Miller trying to put the shackles on Satterfield. Here's Bala, twirl, and he's called for the offensive foul.
Cannot believe the call, but Romel Aducol is standing his ground. And that's the 4th foul on Balaa. A couple of guys in foul trouble for Lebanon. Of course, Satterfield being the most important one, still in the ball game.
Well, it looks like head coach Nenad Turcic doesn't want to risk anything. Here's Ritualo once again. Oh, Ritualo on the court. Yes, sir! Ritualo is red hot with 6 3-pointers tonight coming off the bench. 6 out of 11 from Rainbow Country. It's just a 10-point ball game, mga kababayan. Kenneth Satterfield being hounded by Willie Miller. Satterfield goes to Balaa. Inside he goes to Curry. And down low, El-Khatib with a timely basket. 20 points for El-Khatib. 12-point lead for Lebanon. Aducol getting the ball inside. And he is fouled. Oh, and Pontos and Curry with some words in the direction, towards the direction of Aducol, and he is tagged with a technical foul.
That's going to be a really big blow for the team from Lebanon. For the team of Lebanon, Ritualo Aducol was very physical underneath. Gets the call and the ire of number 15, Curry.
All guns on glory for Romel Aducol. Never mind if he was up against bigger, heftier men. He banged bodies inside, and another technical foul is called on Lebanon. It's going to be called against El-Khatib. Looks like it's going to be called against El-Khatib. So if we're correct, that's 2 technical fouls in a row against Lebanon.
So free throws will be shot for Pilipinas San Miguel Beer. A couple of guys with 4 fouls already on the brink.
These are key guys for Lebanon. Si El-Khatib, who currently has 20 points, has 4 personal fouls, and Kenny Satterfield with 31 points, also with 4 personal fouls. Dito po nagsimula yan with a strong move inside by Adugol. He brushes aside Curry. Curry gets tagged with a foul, and then he hurls invectives in the direction of Adugol, and then he gets tagged with a technical foul. It's something that the Lebanese side did not appreciate, especially head coach Nenad Kurtic. And in the ensuing reaction, El-Khatib displaying his displeasure to the referees, and then he was also tagged with a technical foul.
So a couple of technical fouls will result in Renren's free throws.
This is such a pivotal game for both squads. Renren takes first free throw. The winner of this game will face Kuwait tomorrow in a quarterfinal.
Eh, ang ayaw natin makalaban, Nico, is...
Well, actually, neither team wants to face Jordan. Because Jordan is admittedly the stronger squad. So, the winner of this game will face Kuwait. The loser will have to face Jordan in a very, very tough quarterfinal assignment. As Ritualo misses another technical free throw. So the score is 78-69.
So 3 out of 4 from that stint. Because of the 2 technical fouls, we got 3 points. Dun, Nico, dun sa mga technical fouls ng galing sa Lebanon.
Here's Miller to Ritualo. Ritualo fakes. Ritualo fires! Almost, but not quite. Boy, Ritualo has not only energized the national team, he has energized this crowd in the United Center. He has captured the imagination of this crowd with his timely three-pointers, his gut and gumption, his impunity from Rainbow Country. And Ritualo is trying to carry this national squad into a possible comeback here in the payoff period. 23 booming points off the bench for Ritualo. Make that 24. And Ritualo did not even play in the first quarter.
He did not play in the first quarter. Here we see again, there was a foul on the arm of Brendan Ritualo on that play. Alam na ng Lebanese team, Migo, yung kung gaano ka-deadly itong si Renren Ritualo. Well, for other teams which we are going to play, this is the breakout game of Renren Ritualo, and he's going to be a smart man.
3 out of 3 for Ritualo. And the national team, Team Pilipinas, is back in business. Here's El-Khatib. This crowd is certainly in the game. Lebanon up by 6 precarious points with under 6 minutes to go in a payoff period. Satterfield misses the attempt. Here's Miller. The Nationals are on the attack. They are banging on the door. Miller trying to slice through. Ritualo for 3. No! And Paul Joseph Curry clears the rebound as we near the 5-minute mark of the payoff period. This is the last day of the elimination round, and what a last game it is. El-Khatib, Velasco, outside, Gatas, yes, oh no! A big basket from Joe Henry Gatas, and Gatas, that's his first field goal of the game.
Coming at a timely moment as the Philippines were now only down by 6 points. Now it's an offensive foul called on Renren Ritualo. Coming off the pick. So that's a break again for the Lebanese team. Only 2 personal fouls on Renren.
So this will momentarily stall the Team Pilipinas onslaught, and another turnover against Satterfield. Kanina pa, kinukulit ni Willie Miller itong si Kenneth Satterfield. That's the second time Miller has forced Satterfield to a turnover along the sideline. Here's Miller. Miller slices through!
Alam mo, nakakahawa ito si Renren Ritualo. Willie Miller coming into the scoring picture and the offensive scheme of things. And another 2 points.
4:26 to go. Here in the payoff period. Lebanon desperately holding on to this 7-point lead. And Nick Velasco will be tagged with a foul. That's going to be number 2.
And the number 4 foul on the Philippines, which means the next foul will send the Lebanon team, the Lebanon players on the line.
El-Khatib being banked up by Velasco. As we near the 4-minute mark of the last quarter. El-Khatib, twirl, top shot. Curry down low with an offensive rebound and a putback. 8 points for the big man of Lebanon.
Khatib on that last play, he just attracted too much attention from the Philippine team. Mag-isa na lang yung Curry for the offensive attack.
Oh, Miller turning around. And he gets a layup. A virtuoso play for Willie Miller, scoring back-to-back baskets. And so it's back to a 7-point ball game. A near steal by Adugul. Here's Curry over to Satterfield. And Lebanon will try to settle down with 3:37 to go in the final chapter of this furious game. Satterfield for three. It's good. He has been unstoppable for Lebanon with 34 points.
Lead is up again to 10. Pero like I said kanina, Miko, hindi naman ganun kahirap makabalik dito sa international because scoring is a little easier.
And Willie Miller is taking over. 6 straight points for Thriller Miller. 15 points for the Talking Sex home pal. And it's back to an 8-point game. 86-78 as we near the 3-minute mark of the final quarter. The United Center crowd is on the edge. Satterfield has been unstoppable for Lebanon. Being hounded by Miller. He twirls, he uncorks, and a shot clock expires as a turnover against the Lebanese squad. This will give the Nationals a key opportunity to inch closer with 2:45 to go in the final quarter.
So great on one defense on Willie Miller. Actually, Satterfield never gave up the ball. Wanted a one-on-one situation. He got it. Nothing there.
Oh, Miller! It's Miller time! It is Miller time here in the final quarter.
17 big markers for Willie Miller. 9 in this quarter.
Just a 6-point game, and this will now result to free throws. This will now result to free throws for Lebanon as the Philippines lunges into the penalty situation with 2:24 to go in the final quarter. The score is 86-80. 6-point lead for Lebanon, and El-Khatib is on the line for a pair of crucial free throws.
El-Khatib with a quiet, I say quiet because of Satterfield's performance, a quiet 21 points tonight. Last night against the Iran team or the Kazakhstan team, El-Khatib only had he has 30 big points.
So Team Pilipinas, San Miguel Beer, facing an 8-point deficit. Here's Willie Miller. He is well hot, taking off from where Redmond Ritualo left off. And there's a foul in the backcourt against the Nationals. The Team Pilipinas coaching staff begging for a traveling violation or a traveling call.
That's going to be the last foul of Romel Adugul, foul number 5. Romel Adugul, scoreless in this ball game with only 1 rebound to his name, was saddled with early foul trouble, kaya hindi na siya nakapulusok, Miko, in this contest.
Willie Miller has been the fuel that has driven this RP team engine here in the final quarter, scoring 11 here in the payoff period, keeping the Nationals in the game with 2:08 to go in the final quarter. Miller has a total of 20 big points. Yancy De Ocampo is checking back in the game. He's figured in that near brawl in the third quarter with Stephen Howard. And the first free throw is good for El-Khatib. You know, for as long as Mr. Ritualo is on the court for Team Pilipinas, and with Miller waxing hot, anything is still possible here. Lebanon up 90-83 as we near the last 2 minutes of this crucial elimination round showdown. We are in the last 2 minutes, brought to you by Hope the Luxury Cigarette, and Willie Miller owns this final quarter. 13 points here in the final quarter for Willie Miller. It has been a one-man show for Team Philippines, and Miller cuts down Lebanon's lead to 5. And the Nationals will send El-Khatib to the free throw line anew.
Yan pa rin ang problema natin, Miko, right now is trying to play defense without putting these guys, these Lebanese, on the line. El-Khatib will shoot again 2 free throws.
Willie Miller has punctured hole after hole in that Lebanese defense for a total of 22 points. But the Nationals still trying to erase the 5-point deficit with 1:42 to go in the payoff period. By El-Khatib with 24 points. Satterfield has been unstoppable in this game. At pakibabad na with Paroque ni Edgar, Rivermayan, sandwich to Don and Moore. Pwede ka pang manalo up to 1 million worth of cash prizes. Sarap magbabad. That's happening tomorrow at the Mega Mall Parking Lot C in Humana with San Miguel Beer, ang beer na walang katulad. Para summer mo, talagang walang katulad. Remember, drink moderately. El-Khatib also steady from the free throw line. He has a total of 25. For the Nationals, Ritualo leads the way with 26 points, along with 6 3-pointers. Willie Miller waxing hot with 22, including 13 coming here in the final quarter. Miller has been a one-man wrecking crew for the Nationals, down by 7 points with 1:33 to go in the game. Here's Miller. He twirls. He goes to De La Cruz, and finally, Tony De La Cruz sinks his favorite shot, the baseline jumper.
And he was really open right there because of the attention Willie Miller gets.
And there's pressure in the backcourt. And the ball batted out of bounds by Willie Miller. This will leave Lebanon with 17 to shoot. Lebanon on top by 5 precarious points. With 17 to go. Khatib hounded by Velasco. Miller getting ready to help. Here's Khatib. Outside, Satterfield. Oh boy! He has been a gem of a player for Lebanon with 37 points.
Wow, that must be some sort of record. 37 points in the ball game.
Might have been a dagger there for Lebanon, but let's see. Here's Miller. Outside, Tony De La Cruz on court. It's a three-pointer. Yes, sir. So it's just a 5-point game. It's just a 5-point game. No need to foul here for Team Pilipinas, and hurry. And there's a foul charged against Ritualo, who hacked the arm of Paul Joseph Curry, whose free throw shooting prowess will now be tested in this pressure situation.
Sayang yung mga last play there. We had so many opportunities to get that ball. And of course, it ended up in a foul in front of Ritualo. Curry calmly sinks his first free throw.
He actually did not have a free throw attempt yesterday in that win over Kazakhstan. And the second free throw is also good. Steady hands for the Lebanese big man. 7-point lead for Lebanon. What will the Nationals do? They are trying to bounce back and win on this last day of the elimination round. De La Cruz with the reverse. No! A sorry miss coming from De La Cruz. With 29 seconds to go. And time is now on the side of Lebanon. Both teams entered the game with 2 wins and 1 loss. Neither team wanting to arrange a showdown with Jordan, because the loser of this team will meet Jordan in the quarterfinals. The winner will meet Kuwait tomorrow. And with both teams in a penalty, that foul by Willie Miller will send Kenny Satterfield to the free throw line.
With 10 seconds left in the ball game, it's an impending win for Lebanon. So, amigo, what we did not want to happen for tomorrow's ball game is going to happen. We're going up against the Jordan team. Of course, the number 2 seed on the other side in Group B. This guy on the line with
that man broke the hearts of the fans here at the Inares Center.
39 points and counting.
And a lot of those points coming in the clutch.
Oh, at saka napaka-importante ng mga binitawan niya because we were making our rallies. And suddenly he will just shoot a 3. He launched so many 3s in the ball game. 6 3s for Satterfield.
Vincent Chodres goes over to the Lebanese side to congratulate the winners of this game. We're so fortunate that that incident in the third quarter did not materialize into an all-out brawl, and thus Lebanon survived a furious rally by Team Pilipinas San Miguel Beer to the finals to the tune of 100-90. That's our final score, and we'll be back with more from the Inares Center in just a while.
Was to go out and hit people and be physical.
And I told them in the international game, pwede yun. Sa PBA, hindi. Pero here, obviously, pwede yun. And you know, when we started hitting back, then napikon yung kalaban, and then we made the run. But you know, that's why we want to play this international tournament, to find out kung ano yung pwede and how to be able to play this international game.
Prior to the start of this tournament, the players have had a hectic schedule in the PBA. Now you're playing daily games with hardly any time to practice. Do you think fatigue is already a factor now?
Well, it's definitely a factor, but I'd like to think that, well, as a coach and as a team, we don't like to make any excuses. But yes, it's definitely a factor, and the fact is, these guys have been playing hard for the whole year, and then we're playing daily games. But still, no matter how tired we are, there's no excuse for not putting on the effort. And I felt in the first half, we did not put forth the effort that was expected of us. But in the second half, we made a big run, we made a big comeback, and I'm very proud of the way we fought back.
Finally, Coach, tomorrow we'll be playing Jordan. How do you assess our chances?
Well, you know, if we wanted to get to the finals or win this thing, we really have to go through Jordan in whatever manner. Maybe we would have wanted to meet them later rather than sooner, but the way it's stacked up is that now we're going to play them right away. So they're going to be very tough. They have, again, the two losses we've had are against two very good imports, teams with two very good imports. And, you know, we'll play Jordan. If we get by Jordan, I think we'll play Qatar. All of those teams have two great imports. And the difference has only been 10 points in our two losses. So, you know, the imports don't score 10 points only among themselves. So that's the key that we have to find out, how to neutralize and play against these great imports.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much and good luck tomorrow. Thank you. Tala, wag po na kayo alis dahil pagbabalik po namin, si Miko and Peter will wrap this baby up.
Back inside the United Center for the remaining moments of this coverage of the 16th FIBA Asia Champions Cup, brought to you by FedEx in cooperation with San Miguel Beer. Lebanon holding on to a 10-point win over Pilipinas San Miguel Beer, 100-90. Some anxious moments during the game. A couple of furious rallies staged by the Nationals, but we came up short, and the Nationals losing by 10 and new.
Well, kagaya nga ng sinabi ni Coach Chot Reyes in his interview, he said that he did not see the effort in the first half, wherein the Lebanese team had a 52 to 41 advantage. Pero natapos tayo 100-90. So nag-adjust tayo sa second half na hindi tayo nagpalamang. If you're going to do the math, ibig sabihin, Chot Reyes wanted the effort in the second half kung pwede whole game yung effort
for 40 straight minutes. Let's check out the pivotal player of the game, and certainly for the Lebanese side, it was Kenneth Satterfield. Every time the Nationals launched a rally, Satterfield would knock in a crucial three-pointer to quell the hopes of a RP team comeback.
So many rally-dousing three-point shots coming from this guy, Kenneth Satterfield. And what, you know, there's a saying, sinasabi nila, it's not how many points you make, but when you make those points.
Well, he actually did both.
Actually,
quantity saka quality. Now let's check the final team standings at the end of the elimination round.
Of course, Iran will go up against Syria, and Lebanon will go up against Kuwait. Pilipinas, San Miguel Beer, no choice tayo. We have to go up against the Jordan Fast Link team, who is sitting in rank number 2 with Group B. So bukas yan, yung laban natin yan, Miko.
So here's the quarterfinal schedule. That's happening tomorrow here at the United Center in Antipolo. And of course, the game to watch is that showdown between Pilipinas San Miguel Beer and Jordan Fast Link. While we wanted to avoid this matchup, Chot Reyes said it. Anyway, mukhang kailangan dumaan ka sa kanila, whether now or later on. So kung kailangan mong talunin, might as well gawin nyo na bukas.
At saka sinabi nga ni Coach Chot Reyes, these teams have 2 great imports each. Yung mga reinforcements tayo, wala. So one of the problems, according to Coach Chot Reyes, is how to neutralize those 2 scoring threats of the Jordan team.
Well, if this game is going to be an indication, I wouldn't miss tomorrow's showdown between Team Pilipinas San Miguel Beer and Jordan. That is the start of the quarterfinals. Everything is at stake as action continues here at the 16th FIBA Asian Champions Cup 2005, brought to you by FedEx in cooperation with San Miguel. On behalf of Richard Del Rosario, Peter Martin, I'm Miko Halili saying good night from the United Center in Antipolo. The Nationals come up short despite 2 furious rallies as Lebanon holds on to a 10-point win, 100-90, behind a 40-point effort of Kenneth Satterfield. We hope to see you again tomorrow for the quarterfinals of the FIBA Asian Champions Cup, only here on ABC. Pala Alto, Pilipinas.
Nice play. Andiyan ka pala, dito ako. Nice. Ito, mukhang target shooting ito. Nice job. Fiba sa athletic 16. Fiba Asia. Champions Cup 2005.
The FIBA Asia